Welcome to Comet Computer Private Limited, e-learning program of implementing and administering networking technologies. So we are going to see about IP subnetting. We have seen about IP addressing. We have class A, BC address which is in use and other addresses are not used. So while using the IP addresses, we have some limitations and we don't want to go for wasting a lot of IPs. So we wanted to segregate based on the requirement. So that's the reason we are going for IP subnetting. So it is nothing but dividing network ID into small networks. We call it as a subnetwork. So instead of having a bigger network, we'll break that as a small network. Like if you take one range of IP address, like 192.168.1.0, it is a /24 network. It means it will have IP addresses from 192.168.1.0 to 192.168.1.255. So approximately 254 IPs will be there. So if I wanted to use it for a larger network, I can use it. But if I have a small network, I have only 50 systems. So if I dedicated this 255 IP address for 50 system network, all 200 IPs will be wasted. So I cannot use it for any other purpose because it is restricted network. I cannot share the IP address with other people. So in that case, what we have to do, we should understand what is the requirement for the project and get the IP address exact requirement, and we can add 10% or 15% buffer to it, and then we can create a IP segment and give it to the project team. So by breaking that bigger into smaller segment, we are saving the IP usage. So we are restricting the IP usage within 50 or 60, whatever is the nearest number, and we are also having the buffer. So in future, they are adding few systems, so we need not worry about it. Still, they will be able to um, work with the additional IPs. Further, then they have more requirement. They can add another IP segment, and then they can work. That is not a problem. But splitting a larger network into smaller network is called as subnetting. So unique subnet ID is created. So each subnet will have unique subnet ID for representing the each network. Okay, so small networks are there. You will have subnet ID that is going to head the entire IP addresses available in the network. It is helping to mix different technology like Ethernet and Apple talks also. That is very rare. We have seen. It helps to reduce broadcast and controls network traffic. So since you are breaking a bigger broadcast domain into smaller broadcast, so the broadcast thing is reduced. So will not have any impact because of the broadcast. It provides optimized network performance via connecting devices and simplified management of IT network infrastructure. So I need not worry about wastage of IP address. I know which project, which range of IP address is being used, and I'm tracking via the DHCP server. Based on the usage, I'm allocating the IP addresses. So I'm able to manage them in an easy way, facilitating spanning of large geographical distances. So I can expand it based on the requirement. So VLAN is created here, so I can extend the VLAN to the next building, or I can extend it to the different location also. So based on the network setup, okay, if it is isolated setup, you cannot expand it geographically. You have to be kept it with the office only. But some of the places people are using intranet, so we can extend the same restrictions. Say a project here is having a VLAN, having some restrictions in Chennai. So the same project is available in Bangalore. So what we will do, we'll create another VLAN over there, another IP segment, and push all the policies, whatever we have configured in Chennai segment to the Bangalore segment. So they'll be logically working for a same customer with the same kind of restrictions. But the local IP address will be different based on their region. Chennai will be different, Bangalore will be different. So this is the advantage of IP subnetting. So to easily understand, we are going to break a bigger network into a smaller network. What I say bigger network is one network may have 255 IPs. Now I am going to break that into smaller networks. That is in class C. If you take class A, you will have more IP address, right? So we'll have to break the IP address into smaller networks so that we can easily manage networks. So here I've given the subnet table, so you can look into it. Borrow bits, subnet value, all these things I'll explain in the coming slides. But this table is very important, and you need to keep this handy until you get practice to it. So we'll be having a borrowing concept like in a smaller time, right? So when we are kids, we used to borrow the numbers while doing a subtraction and also that is a borrow concept. Here, what we are going to do is we have um, network IDs and host IDs in the IP segment. If you take a 32-bit of IP address based on class A, B, C, we have different things, right? In case of class A, uh, you have one network and three host portion. Class B, two network portions, two host portions. Class C, three network portions and one host portion. Okay. So in that case, if you are going to expand the network and you don't have the IP address, network address in your class, respective class, you have to borrow the number of bits from the host portion. So network portion, host portions are nearby, right, next to it. So in case of class C, three portions are network portions. Fourth portion is the host portion. So from that fourth portion, you are going to borrow the bits. So if you are borrowing one bit out of 8 bit, you borrow one bit. So if you borrow one bit, automatically what happens? The subnet mask will change. Okay, so out of 8 bits, you are borrowing one bit. So number of bits will reduce to 7 for host. And in case of network, it will be already it is 24. Now you are adding one bit, so 25 bits. Network portions will be having 25 bits. Host portion is having 7 bits. So the subnet mask for borrowing one bit will be 128. Okay, so similarly, if you are borrowing 2 bits, the subnet mask should be 192. Third bits 224, something like that. So it will be added equally. So for example, you are starting with 128. 128 half is 64. So 128 plus 64 is 192. So 192 plus 32 is 224. 224 plus 16 is 240. So likewise, the difference will be multiples of 2 only here, but we can easily form and remember the numbers. So between these two, you'll have the difference as 64. Between these two, half of 64 is 32. So again, the difference is 16. 224 plus 16 is 240. And here 240 plus half of 16 is 8. So likewise, the table goes. So forming a table is easy, but remember, depending on borrowing bits, the value will change. Accordingly, subnet value. So here we have to remember the binary calculation, right? 2 power 0 is 0, 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 5 is 32, 2 power 6 is 64, 2 power 7 is 128, and 2 power 8 is 256. So this is the 2 power table at the minimum numbers. So now subnet value, what is the value? It will be like 128, then 64. So it is coming in the reverse order. Number of subnets, it is a standard formula. Suppose if I am borrowing one bit, so 2 power 1 is what? So 2 power 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0, right? 2 power 1 is 2, minus 2 is 2, 0. So if I borrow one bit, I will not have any subnet. So there is no use of borrowing one bit. So minimum I have to borrow 2 bits from the network portion. I mean from the host portion to the network portion. So this is common for all the classes, class A, class B, class C. From host to portion, minimum you have to borrow 2 bits. Why? So if I am borrowing 2 bits, how many number of subnets will be there? 2 power 2 minus 2. Okay, it is 2 power 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. So it means I will have two subnets and rest of the things will be host. So I can easily find out. So 3 bits if I am borrowing, I can have 6 subnets. So this is the calculation we are going to see in the IP subnetting. But don't worry, we can make it very easy in remembering the value. But you have to remember the table in easy way. Okay, so with the handy information about subnet table, we can easily build the configuration. IP subnetting. So moving on to the next slide. Let me take some examples for building the subnetting, making the understanding very clear. So the requirement is like this. Okay, so I want 10 subnets. I want 10 subnets for the segment IP address is provided here. For this particular network, I want 10 subnets. Okay, so what I can do with this? I don't know what is the subnet mask. I don't know what is the details about the rest of the things. But I need 10 subnets. That is, I want 10 networks. With this range of IP address, I need to break this into 10 different network. Okay. Maybe I have 10 projects, so each project I want to allocate one network address, one IP address, group of IP address. So let us proceed on this. So which class it belongs to? You have to remember the IP addressing class A, B, C, whatever we have seen, A, B, C, and all right. So this address belongs to class A. So that is the first statement we are going to make sure. Okay, once you get into subnetting for class A, what is the default mask? It is 255.0.0.0. Okay, so the default subnet mask it is given here. So I'm just converting that into binary value. So if it is complete 255, all bits will be 1 and rest of the bits will be 0. This is a binary calculation, okay? But what we are doing, it is represented in a digital format. I'm just representing in the binary format. So this subnetting requires some kind of binary knowledge. So let's proceed. So to divide a class A network, we need to borrow the bits from second segment, second octet or second byte. So each portion will be called as a octet, okay, because 8 bits are there, right? So if you count it is 8 bit. So we call this as a octet because it is having 8 bits. Or we can call it as a portion wise, second portion, third portion, something like that, easily understanding. Segment, we can call it as a segment. So now, for class A, the first portion is the network portion. The rest of the portions are host portion, right? Because it is net dot host dot for class A subnet, I mean IP addressing standard we had, right? First portion will be net and the second portion will be host, node. This is for class A, so we cannot change anything here. So this is for class A network portion. So here for building the network and we are dividing the network, what we are going to do, we are going to borrow one bit from host portion to the network portion. Okay, the next portion. So here what we can see is 8 bits are given for network ID and 24 bits are given for host ID. That is class A, right? I'm just refreshing your IP addressing knowledge. So for network portion it is 8 bit, host portion is 24 bit. Since you are borrowing 1 bit from here or whatever the number of bits, so it will get added up. So if you are borrowing 1 bit, you will add 1 with this, um, and accordingly the host portion will get reduced with 1. So it will become 9, this will become 23. And you borrow 2 bits, this becomes 10, this becomes 22, something like that, because you are giving, right, once you are giving 2 bits from 24, that much bit will get reduced. Okay, so now I'll do till I'll do this borrowing till I get my result. Okay, till I get my requirement met. So starting with borrowing 1 bit, so we already discussed if I borrow 1 bit, there is nothing I can do with that. Okay, because it is a zero subnet. I'm borrowing 2 bits. I'm borrowing 2 bits. So the calculation is 2 power n minus 2. So 4 minus 2, 2 subnets. Okay. So that is also not sufficient. Borrowing 3 bits, I will get 6 subnets. So what is the expectation is 10 subnets. I need to have 10 subnets. Did I met? No, I'm less than the required number. So now I'm borrowing 16 bits. I mean 4 bit. So 4 power 2 power 4 is 16 minus 2 14. So I cannot go beyond this. If I borrow 5 bit, it will be 2 power 5 minus 2, 32 minus 2, 30. So I will be getting 30 networks here. So I cannot equally match whatever you are asking, right? 10 means we cannot match is 10 because here we are getting powers of 2. Okay, so we have to see the nearest one. So you are asking 10. So I will choose this particular 14 networks. If I go 30, what will happen? Here, if I choose 14, I am wasting 4 networks only as of now. I may use it for future requirement, that is totally different, but I will be unutilizing only 4 networks. If I choose 30, what will happen? I am going to waste 20 networks of it. So if I have additional networks, I would have given it for some other requirement. So I am not going to suggest you to go for the fifth bit borrowing. Let us stop with fourth bit itself. Hope this is clear because the requirement is 10 subnets. I am getting closest number by borrowing 4 bits. So I'm just choosing 14 as a number. Okay, now the number of networks I've got it, it will be 14 subnets. Now we have to see other rest of the things. So now uh, that's what I discussed. We cannot exactly meet the requirement. Subnet mask, if you take the subnet mask, first portion is okay. Since I decided that 4 bits will sufficient for building the required subnets. So what I have to do, I have to flip the 4 bits of second portion where from where I am borrowing. From the second portion. I cannot borrow directly from third portion or fourth portion. I will have to borrow from second portion. If it is over, 8 bits are over, for the ninth bit I will borrow from third portion. So what I am doing, since I borrowed from second portion, the zeros are becoming 1 and it is moved to the network portion. So rest of the portions will be the host portion. So my subnet mask will be, so now I have to run through my table. So if I borrow 4 bits from the host portion to the network portion, what will be my subnet mask? The subnet mask will be 240. So it is 128, 192, 224, then 240. So that table should come in your mind. So now the question is, I have given the IP address. I need 10 subnets. What is the subnet mask? So this will be your subnet mask. So we will learn what are all the 10 networks. Okay, in later point in time, we'll learn what are all the 10 networks available. But for simple understanding, we are taking only the simple requirement. So just to understand what is my subnet mask, I did the calculation. But if you don't know how many networks are required, then you cannot perform this calculation. So first of all, you have to gather the requirement and then you can proceed further on the calculation. So this is one example. Let's move on to the next example. So requires 4 subnets, same type, same pattern, but it is from class B. Okay. From by seeing the IP address, you should have gone through the table now. I need 4 subnets and my IP address is this one, 172.24. So it should be falling under class B. And the requirement is just write the requirement 4. So class B subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. That is a default subnet mask. So it means that first two segments are network portion, second two segments are host portion. So again, what we are going to do to build extra network, we have to borrow the bits from host portion to the network portion. So what it does, if I borrow 10, it is nothing, 0 subnets, I cannot do anything. I borrow 2 zeros, okay, from here to here. What is happening? 4 minus 2 is 2, but my requirement is 4. So still I have to go further. Then I'm going for a third bit. So 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay. It is closely matching, right? So I can choose this one as a required option. So I'm choosing this option. So by borrowing 3 bits, I can get the requirement met. So now what I'm doing while writing the subnet mask, so I'm borrowing 3 bits, so all these bits will be turning as 1 anyway, becoming as a network portion by making this as 1, and the rest of the portions is left untouched. Okay, since I borrowed 3 bits, what is the subnet mask? It is 128, 192, 224. Okay, the table you have to remember 128, 192, 224. Okay, so where I have to write? So now I can say by seeing the subnet table, by referring the subnet table, I can say my subnet mask is 240. I'm sorry, 224. But where I have to write? So this is the class B, and we are borrowing the bits from the third portion because first two portions we are not disturbing. We are borrowing from the third portion. So we have to write the subnet mask in third portion. Whatever subnet mask you are getting it, that has to be written into the exact portion of the IP address. So now third example requires 46 subnets, and now I'm taking class A address. So it is 14.3.4.2. This requires 46 subnets. Same in case of class A, it is looking like this. Okay, 255.0.0.0, and subnet mask looks like this. So now do the same calculation. Borrow 1 bit, 0 subnets. Borrow 2 bits, 2 subnets. Borrow 3 bit, 6 subnets. Borrow 4 bit, 14 subnets. Borrow 5 bit, 30 subnets. Borrow 6 bits, 62 subnet. So if it is seventh bit, if you borrow seventh bit, okay, so 128 minus 2, 126. So my requirement is 46. Why should I go for 126? So nearest number is 62. Let me stop with this nearest number. I'm borrowing how many bits? 6 bits I'm borrowing from the host portion to the network portion. This is the class A address. So from here, I'm borrowing 6 bits from host portion to the network portion. So accordingly, what we have to do, we have to find out what is the mask used in the subnet mask. Okay, so 6 bits we are borrowing. So it should be 252. And where I have to place, since I borrow from second portion, second octet, I'll update the value in whatever value I'm getting. I'll update the value in the second portion of the uh, table. So hope this is clear. So basically you need to remember the subnet mask table. If you remember it, then it will be easy for us to build the rest of the details. So fourth example, I wanted 22 subnets, and all addresses are 212. So this first hint is this is a class C address and they want 22 subnets. Class C default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. What they are saying, they want 22 subnets. What we have to do, again do the calculation. 0 subnets, 2, 6, we're getting 14, but I need 22. So another go, I have to choose and stop with borrowing 5 bits. So this is the one which is nearly matching. So I can choose this one. So in this calculation, how many bits we are borrowing? 5 bits. This is class A, so the borrow will happen from fourth segment to the third segment. So we have to put the value in fourth segment. For that one, we are just checking it where to place the value. So hope this is clear. So all these things we are doing based on the subnet table. Hope the subnet table should be clear to you. So borrowing 1 bit, 2 bit, up to 8 bits we are borrowing here. So accordingly, the subnet mask will vary based on the borrow bits. So classless internet domain routing, CIDR. This notation is mostly used by the ISP for notifying the network address the group of addresses together, and the notification will be very simpler. Uh, it will be mostly used by the ISP, but we can use it in our network diagrams, pictorial representations, and when we are discussing also we can say I'm using /16 address, I'm using /8, /10, whatever it is, right? So representation of IP address is changed by introducing CADR into the network. So here everything will be notated as a slash notation. Okay. So for example, we have class C IP address 192.168.1.1, whereas the subnet mask I'm saying 255.255.255.0. So it is class C address. So instead of giving the entire subnet mask in a single line, we can use the CADR method. Okay, so we can put /24. It means the subnet mask is used as a 255.255.255.0. So all subnet mask is generic subnet mask. Okay, class C general output. So we can mention it, and they can take action further. So /16, it will be like 255.255.0.0 because the network portion is a 16-bit portion, and for all the network portions, it is given as CADR notation. So it will be easy for us to represent in the diagrams or represent in the calculations or represent in the connection orientation also. So slash notation is called CADR, classless inter-domain routing. So they are taking that as a small blocks. Okay, so what happens here is CADR. If I put /1, it will be like the subnet mask itself will change 128.0.0 /2. So likewise /32. So /32 dollar will not be used. Maximum we can use /30. So if I use /30, it means I can have two IP address for my host. So two routers connecting back to back, they can use the routers as a devices for termination. So /32 /30 you will get to IP address, but /32 you will not get much. Okay, so we have to stop with /30. Okay, so this is the CADR table, and this is given for our internal purpose. So we can keep it remembering. Otherwise, while calculation itself, we can find out the table. So we'll complete this part one now, and we'll proceed with the part two in next session. Thank you very much.